Hello, I'm Quinn, and this is 30 minutes of gentle yoga. Today you need a chair or a sturdy piece of furniture. If your furniture isn't super heavy and already against a wall, you'll need either a non-stick surface that you can trust, like a yoga mat, or to place your chair, like a dining room chair, with the back against a wall. So when you push on it, it won't go anywhere. You also need a blanket or a bath towel, and maybe if you're in a really flexible body, 2 blocks. But these are optional. I'll show you how to use it, and they could be for another time. Okay, so we're gonna get started just seated, and because you have a chair, you could sit up in the chair if you're more comfortable that way, or if you like sitting on the floor, you might choose to fold your blanket and place it underneath your hips. And then cross your legs in any way that works for your body right now. Bring your hands to grab your knees, and then pull your knees towards you as you lift your heart. And then stack your palms one on top of the other, right in your lap. You might even feel that your wrists nestle in to the creases of your hips. You can connect your thumbs right on top of the bowl of your palms. And then close your eyes and become aware of your breathing. Let your exhale breath soften your shoulders down the back. Feel your weight in your hips. And trace a line from your hips down your legs and into the earth. We'll start with a few rounds of Nadi Shodhana, or alternate nostril breathing. And I'll offer you a mudra to take with your right hand, okay? So with your right hand, you'll bring your index finger and middle finger into the palm of the hand, leaving your ring finger and pinky finger free and your thumb free. Okay, this is with the right hand. With the left hand, connect your thumb and index finger and place it palms face up on the left knee. So if you turn your right hand towards your face, you'll find that your thumb can close the right nostril, and either your ring finger or pinky finger can close the left nostril. And so instead of pinching the nose down here, we'll find the very top edge of the nostril and pinch it up top, okay? Now, if the hand position is confusing, you can just use any 2 fingers. And I'll teach you this breathing practice. All right, so let all the air out to prepare, and then plug your right nostril, inhale through the left. At the top of the breath, plug the left nostril, exhale through the right. Inhale back through the right. Plug it at the top, exhale through the left. And that's 1 round. Second round, inhale left. Switch at the top, exhale right. Inhale back through the right. Exhale left. That's 2 rounds. Inhale left. Switch at the top of the inhale, exhale right. Inhale right. Switch at the top of the inhale, exhale left. Continue 2 more rounds on your own. You switch at the top of the inhale. When you're done, you'll just bring both of your hands down to your lap and continue to breathe in and out through your nose. You can release the mudra with your right hand and instead connect thumb and index finger. And notice if that breath practice, the pranayama, had any impact on the way you feel. And blink your eyes open. And we'll come to standing in front of your chair. Okay? My head will disappear, but only for a moment because we will soon bend forward over the chair. So if you have a folding chair like mine, just for comfort, you might place your blanket over it. And some folks might need more height underneath them, so you can fold up your blanket or use blocks or books to bring the chair up. Now spread your feet a comfortable distance apart, maybe 4 or 5 feet. And then bring your head down to the chair. You can stack the forearms and place the forehead on the forearms. Or you can let the arms hang down towards the ground and put a little bit more weight on the crown of your head. You can play around with this until it feels all right. But what I want for you is to be upside down and to have the head supported on something. You might adjust where your feet are, further away or closer to the chair, until you feel like you have the right positioning for your body. And you might bend the knees a bit, or if the backs of the legs are really tight, spread the legs apart a little bit more. Should make it a bit easier on the back line of the body. And we'll be here for a couple minutes. If you start to get dizzy, or if this becomes uncomfortable, just squat your hips down to the ground and sit with your head resting on the chair. The whole point here is to have the head down, to be somewhat upside down. So even just sitting on the floor with your head on a chair is moving in that direction. And just one more thing. If the skin of your forehead is what's in contact with the surface underneath you, then see to it that the skin moves from the hairline down to the eyebrows. So that is opposed to the skin moving from eyebrows up to the hairline, which will lift your eyebrows into a surprised sort of expression. We don't want to imprint that expression or that feeling onto our body or onto our mind right now. So again, if your skin of the forehead is touching, then make sure that it's moving from hairline down to brow. And just breathing in and out through your nose if possible. Feeling your brain tump forward towards the back of your forehead. Perhaps by now becoming more accustomed to being upside down. And not as a temporary thing, but as someplace you'll be for a little while. Oftentimes, if I'm feeling foggy in my mind, or a little bit brain dead, or even just exhausted mentally from whatever's happened in my day or my week, I know that one remedy for that is to go upside down. It just seems to work for me. You might find that it seems your brainwaves slow down. And if you had chatter in your mind, that it begins to quiet down. And that's why we'll be upside down for a period of time, to give all of that a chance to happen. So in a moment we'll change position, but we want to keep the head down. So we don't lift the head up. If you need to look at the screen for any reason, try and just turn your head enough to see it. But here we're going to take a downward facing dog with our hands on the seat of the chair. And if you're in a tighter body, you might need to use the back of the chair. So if you adjust yourself, just keep the head down. So go ahead and bring your hands to the seat of the chair, or if you can see me, the outer edges of the chair you can grip onto. Then walk your legs farther back until your spine grows long and your arms are straight. And then press down into the chair, draw your shoulder blades away from the spine, and wrap the triceps down towards the ground. So that's the outer upper arm. Wrap it down towards the ground. And then spread across the collarbones, spread across the base of the neck. And breathe here. And dropping your heart down towards the ground and slightly back towards the thighs. And the feet can be wider, especially if you're tight, or you might bring them hips width distance away from one another. Either letting your head hang down between the arms or bringing your ears just in line with your biceps. Take deep breaths into the backside body and feel how the body rides the wave of the breath. And you can bend and straighten your knees, maybe one at a time, maybe both, or just stay still. And anytime you need a break, knees come down, keep your head down on the chair. All right, we'll move into a forward fold, just like we were in, but with the legs a little closer together. And so that's optional. You can come right back into the same shape you were in before. Or you can bring your feet underneath the hips or even together as you fold back down, head on the chair. And here's where I'll give an option if you want a little bit deeper stretch in the backs of your legs. You don't have to use the chair. You can make a big platform with your blocks. So the blocks can go at a lot of different heights. If you stack them up on their tallest height, they're actually taller than the seat of my chair. And the forehead can come down to that. One can be on a low height, one on the tall height. This is just perfect for me. You could have one on the medium height, another on the tall height. You see what I'm doing here. You just find the right height so that your neck doesn't feel cramped. So that would mean that the height is too tall. And so that it also doesn't feel like you're having to pull or reach down towards the blocks to get there. You want to feel that there's some support underneath your head. Essentially here we're taking a supported headstand. The main difference being our hips and legs aren't up in the sky. But we can completely control the amount of weight that's on the head and neck, so it's much safer. And again, if it's your forehead skin that's in contact with something, see to it that the skin moves from hairline down to the brows. And if you're not using your arms for the support of the head, you might bring your fingertips to the backs of the knees and very gently stroke from backs of the knees down your calves to your heels, inviting your calf muscles to release downwards. And you can do this without your hands, just in your mind, imagining a flow or stream of water flowing down the backs of your legs, from the backs of your knees down to the heels. And then pause. And now again, either with the fingertips or with your mind, come back to the backs of your knees. And now feel a lifting up from backs of the knees to your sitting bones. So the backs of the legs are moving in 2 different directions. And this is just an experiment. You might find that you get a little more opening through the backside body. Or you might find that that's simply irritating and you don't have to do it. Just breathe. Ungrip your toes. You've been upside down for a while now. Probably about 10 minutes. Now bend your knees enough to where you feel relief. And we'll come back into that downward dog version with the palms on your chair. Okay, so just make sure that your chair is not going to go anywhere. You can hold on to the outer edge or place the palms on the seat. Then walk your legs far back and drop your chest down towards the floor. And if you're hypermobile, if you have kind of loose joints, you might find that you're really falling between your arms. I'm demoing that here. I happen to have hypermobility. And if that's you, you really do want to press down into the palms to lift the ribs up into the shoulder blades so that you're not dropping through the shoulder joints. And like we did before, move the shoulder blades away from the spine. Wrap the outer upper arms down and spread across your collarbones and across the base of the neck to the outer shoulders. And now we have stability through the shoulder girdle. And from there, we can lengthen the spine long. And now slowly bring your knees down to the ground. Sit back on your heels. And very slowly bring your head back upright. Now, if you feel a head rush or anything, head right back down, head on the chair or lay down on the ground and breathe. Your blood will regulate your blood pressure, but you want to be careful, especially if you're new to being upside down for so long. And we'll stay with the forward folding for a couple more shapes. And if we have time, we'll do a little bit of back bending because it's not the end of the day yet if you're taking this live. So here there's some options. First, I just want you to bring one of your heels into the groin and lengthen the other leg out. Now if you round through the spine or if you need to stay lifted, sit back up onto a folded blanket. And then it depends on the piece of furniture you have. Either you'll orient yourself right in front of the furniture and lay down over it with it between your legs. Or if you've got something like me where you can get your foot underneath it, you can bring the long leg out underneath the chair and then turn the torso, revolving a little bit towards your long leg, unfolding forward with your head on the chair. Okay. You can also get rid of the chair completely, move into the center of your room, and same thing, either come forward or over the extended leg. Okay, so options. Do whatever works with your props and your body in this moment. I'll be here for a couple minutes. And again, if you're catching the skin of the forehead, move it down towards the brows. Soften your shoulders away from the ears. And soften your belly. Take your last deep breath here, in and out. And on an inhale, breath slowly sit up. Please move slow. So we're getting in just the vibration of mellow, and we don't want to boing our way through the transitions. And then we'll come to the other side. So it really depends on what you got going with your furniture, how you change sides. But take it easy, make it as effortless as possible. And again, skin of the forehead moves down. Soften shoulders away from ears and relax deep into your belly. You might even exaggerate pooching the belly out a little bit, because sometimes we don't even know that we're holding those muscles in. And take your last deep breath here. And use an inhale to float your way back upright. And then come onto your floor, away from your furniture. And find your blanket or towel. And then just make a really easy roll in the towel. And of course, you can modulate how thick the blanket is, depending on how much you have it rolled up. Place it across your practice space. And then come to lay down over it so that it's about underneath your shoulder blades. And your head and shoulders fall on the top side of that blanket roll. And you can bring your arms out to a T. And then make sure you're in a spot that feels right and good in your body. And this is our heart opener. The heart is uplifted here. The chest is opening passively. You can turn all the muscles off and receive the imprint of the blanket roll up into the backside body. You might leave your feet flat on the floor. You might find a Baddha Konasana, butterfly. by bringing the soles of the feet together and letting your knees open wide. Or you might just straighten the legs out as you would in a Shavasana. And breathe here. Feel your body mold over the prop beneath you, as if you were a blanket just draped over. You may notice how this pose is energetically different from all of the upside down and forward folds that we've been doing the rest of practice. And you're free to explore. So don't just be stuck wherever I suggested. You might bring your arms further overhead. You might choose to move again to find a different place along your spine for the blanket roll. You might adjust your legs. But try to avoid wiggling and adjusting out of boredom, because there really is something to receive from staying in these shapes for longer. We're coming up at the end of our 30 minutes together. And of course you can stay here as long as you want. But if you've got more going on with the rest of your day, bend up your knees, feet on the floor. And you'll roll to one side. And slowly press yourself up just enough to move the blanket out from under you. And we'll take just a minute in Shavasana. So come to lying back on your back. Tuck your shoulders underneath you and lengthen your legs out long to the end of the mat. Just register how, if at all, your practice has changed the way you feel in your body and your mind. And let everything go completely. Let your bones flop. So here too is another place you can stay as long as you like. And when you're ready, please slowly, slowly make your way back to upright so that you take with you the nervous system benefits you have gained with your practice. And I bow to you. Thank you for sharing your practice with me. Thank you for practicing. And thank you to the teachers and students who have come before us. And gratitude to yoga. Bye.